Welcome everyone, it's Glacier Guy, Rock the Glacier, as always, back with the studio update. It is the 14th of June, and we're just going to go over some models that I've recently finished painting, and just kind of talk about that a little bit, and just kind of moving along, try to make this a short video. If you've seen the shorts, you've already seen the video, you've already seen the models I'm about to display. If you haven't watched the shorts, because I know some people aren't really a big fan of shorts, here you go. We got the cute dog in the background. We got Claudia there, the crawfish. Picked that up when I was on a recent trip. And my wife got me this Midwest Princess hat, for which is the album of Chappell Roan. And she got to see her in a concert a couple days ago, and that was pretty nice. Let's kind of get into what we got going on here. So, still working on the Steel Legion, getting closer and closer to getting this project under wraps. We got the Deathstrike missile launcher, and I went primary colors on the missile tips. Mostly, originally I was thinking maybe painting I knew the tips were going to be a color, and I thought about painting them red, but I've been playing a lot of Helldivers 2 at the time. Haven't been playing a lot lately, kind of switched over to playing some more WoW. But I was at the time, so I was like, yeah, let's just do primary colors. And and you'll see with the next one, I really need to kind of refine gap filling and sanding on some of these vehicles, but that looks pretty good. The canopy door is open, so unfortunately I can't lower the missile launcher all the way, but I did make it to where I can raise and lower it a little bit. So it's kind of cool. I did glue the missile onto the launcher because I felt like it was easier than just having it slide on and off, and I could have magnetized it. It's not really a good place to magnetize it. There is a few places where you could, but it is kind of a heavy piece, and so you need some pretty good magnets if you're going to magnetize it. But yeah, either way, I left it as is. So let's take a little stroll around, see what we got here. Pretty simple. And of course we got our little driver. He's doing some pointing. I don't have a picture of inside the thing on the screen. I put a little smiley face. Well, he's more of a concerned face than a smiley face. Oh, see the cat? Yep, cat's walking past. The dog took my spot. Oh well. All right, let's keep going. So then we got a Manticore and some primary colors on the Manticore. The Manticore, because the hatch is all the way closed and glued shut, it'll actually go all the way up and down. You'll see that in a second. But quick 360 shot, looking very similar. I like the consistency. I like the color scheme. And then here you see it raised half up, all the way down. This would probably be a good configuration for like just driving around and playing. But I kind of like it all the way up, and it's kind of cool. But for line of sight purposes, you probably want to leave it all the way down. This is what the motor pool looked like at the time when I finished the artillery. So we got the Crassus, we got the Macarius, we got 3 Chimeras, and we got the Deathstrike, the Manticore, and we had to downgrade this to a regular Leman Russ Punisher instead of a tank commander due to points, and we'll see how that all works out if we want to move some stuff around. We got 3 Sentinels. Now these are armored las gun Sentinels. I never modeled them with the chainsword, but the chainsword's free, so why would you not just say I have the chainsword? And the 100 killer missile is also free, so I did model the 100 killer missile. I just, at the time, the chainsword was 1, not very good, and 2, wasn't free, so I never modeled them on these. They are on the newer size bases. I had them on older bases. I popped those off and put them on newer bases. But these were fun when they were done. But the annoying part with these was pin washing these, because they're the Chimeras and the other tanks, pin washing them, they were larger, and so you had more surface to go across. These were small but very, very detailed, so it almost felt like the pin washing wasn't really worth it. But I'm glad I stuck to it, because I feel like it looks really good on just from like arm's vantage. And moving on to, we're gonna show, let's see, a couple pictures of these. See this side. I went blue on the cables, blue black, kept the same color scheme. And then we got the final model for today, but I believe the best one. We got Yarrick. So this is my conversion for Lord Solar Leontis. I had an old Fine Cash Yarrick model, and when the 9th edition Codex, which is right now we're under the 10th edition Index, but when the 9th edition Codex came out and they revealed this model, they sort of killed off Yarrick, but then not really. He wasn't in the rulebook anymore. A lot of models got... 9th edition did a lot of culling to Imperial Guard. A lot of models were removed. A lot of like squadron units were removed, no longer have squadron. Like Basilisk used to be 1 out of 3, now they're only 1. And either way, you understand what I'm saying. But they introduced this new model, and they also introduced, I don't have her, but she's Krieg's daughter. I don't have her model, and maybe at some point I'll get her. And there's still a bunch of Cadian stuff that I don't have. But now that I've been reading all the Cadian books, it really kind of makes me want to get more Cadian stuff, but we'll worry about that next year. But either way, so they released the Solar Lord, and he's got no lore from before. And I kind of took that personally, because I felt like if they were going to introduce a new Lord of War or Supreme Commander type model, as the Solar Lord is supposed to be, then he really should have been a character that has at least been in the storylines before. And from what I can tell, Solar Lord Leontus, his storyline is that he's been around for a long time, but he's only now like in the limelight. But he's been commanding battles for millennia, and I was like, that doesn't seem right. So I always felt that Yarick should have been in that position. He should have been elevated up, because he was already, as far as I know, he was already a Lord Commissar, so he should have been elevated up to Solar Lord status instead of just Commissar. But either way, I was able to, I took a Finecast Yarick, and I took the Solar Lord kit, and I just kit bashed them together. This is what we come with. I actually, if you see the base in this picture, the base is still drying when I took this picture, the Black Rim base. So this is supposed to be a Chaos Reaver Titan that he's walking on, and so I looked through all of the Heretic Legions, and I don't know if this Heretic Legion is still around, but there was a Heretic Legion that had orange and silver for the trim, so orange for the armor, but then silver for the trim. They also had like tiger striping, but I just kind of left them orange, and I feel like it turned out pretty well. Went with this is Corvus Black, so a blackish gray for the horse armor, the under armor, and then silver with some gold, and then black for the actual horse itself, and then to kind of keep the motif with the whole Commissar horse, because I feel like the white and the eggshell white that's on the Leontus model just looked a little too tacky and not very Imperial Guard, because there's very few other Imperial Guard models that are that ostentatiously white and that gaudy. And I'm just like, it's not the vibe I'm going for. I like the horse, I just didn't like the paint job. And I wanted to throw the Commissar on there. And so I think it turns out pretty well. I think it looks pretty nice. A lot of people in the last few hours have really liked this model. So hope you guys like it too. Yeah. Not my best paint job ever, but I'm really proud of this model. I finished it. I glued them onto the base, and I was just like, nice. Everything's looking good. Yeah. And of course, good old Yarick with his Orc Power Claw. And yeah. So, and that is it for the model reveals. We're working on. So we have all the regular Steel Legion infantry left. So we have 1 command squad, and we have 6 infantry squads, and in those, each of those are just like the old metal ones. So they have a missile launcher team and a grenade launcher. I did add a boxcaster to each squad. I had some plastic older boxcasters, and I just managed to find one of the metal models in each squad where the boxcaster fit. Yeah, so we're just going to be chugging our way through that. And I started on the missile launcher teams first, so I could just kind of get those done and out of the way with. And they are on the current 50mm bases, which they used to be on 60s, but now they're going to be on 50s. But other than that, Steel Legion is working. Hopefully, I can get the Steel Legion infantry done by the end of this month, but we'll see how that all works out. And yeah, but I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.